Repurposing your content does not have to be hard at all. Many people see this as this intricate process where you're on one platform and you try to get on as many different platforms as possible with that one piece of content. So in this video, we're going to talk about how exactly do we make it so much easier for us to take this one piece of content that maybe we published as a video or a blog post and put it on all of these different platforms. Hello, everyone. I am Marc Guberti, host of the Breakthrough Success podcast. And repurposing is vital for any content strategy because there are people who they will only listen to podcasts like Breakthrough Success. There are other people who they may like what's on Breakthrough Success, but they don't listen to podcasts. That's why I've been making a bigger push to get more of my episodes on YouTube and even do video interviews. And there are some people who, even if you give them podcasting and video, they only want to read blog posts. So people have different styles of learning, different styles of content consumption. So if you do repurpose, you are able to hit on all of those main points. That is why content repurposing is so important. That's the nutshell version of it. And I feel like people know that content repurposing is important. It's just the issue of how do I actually do this thing? How do I actually take this one piece of content and put it on all these different places? And some people, like, they get the concept. You do a video, you put it on a podcast, you put it on a blog, you create images for it. People get the concept. It's doing it. Doing it is the challenge. So what we want to do first is figure out what kind of content is the best for repurposing. And the answer is video. And the reason it's video is because what we're doing right now, what you're listening to, watching, depending on how you're consuming it, I can take this video and instantly turn it into an MP3. So that's for a podcast episode. So there's literally no extra work that I have to do on my end for the YouTube and the podcast setup. Now, if you start with a podcast and then you turn that into a YouTube video, there is some work with that. In some cases, I use repurpose.io. It's about $12 per month. They do it automatically, which is great. I don't have to even think about it. They just do it for me. But, you know, it is an expense. For some people, $12 per month is absolutely nothing. Like, I don't really think about $12 a month, but it is an expense. Some people, they may want to start on a shoestring. And it's getting this static picture that is going to be there for the whole time. And that's not really an engaging video. Like, a video, like if you're on YouTube or Vimeo, you're watching me on video, you know, that's a lot more engaging, you know, just like the static picture, and then you're just hearing us. So that's why video is definitely better than podcasting for the repurposing. And then with video, you can write, you know, a 200-word summary of the video, some of the main lessons in there. You can take a transcript. I really like to use otter.ai now. It used to be rev.com, but otter.ai is the next frontier for transcribing because it literally happens automatically. I've tried it. It works very, very well. So you can take that transcription if you don't want to write the summary and make that your blog post. Now, the reason video works the best, we talked about podcasting, but blogging, let's say you start there. The issue with that is for a podcast episode, you have to read out the blog post word for word that you already wrote, and then you got to make it engaging for a YouTube video. And that takes a lot of time, especially writing out the blog post, because the average person types at around 40 words per minute, but the average person speaks at a rate of 150 words per minute. If you had to take notes on this video, everything I say word for word, you would not be able to do it without pausing the video. And that's the reason why video works best, because you're speaking and it's not like you have to do some extra editing to make the podcast into a YouTube video. While with a blog post, assuming average is 40 versus 150, it takes about 4 minutes of writing just to catch up to what I said in a minute in a YouTube video. And you know, if you're doing a lot of these videos, maybe you're a public speaker or something like that, you could speak faster than 150 words per minute. So it's the most efficient way to go out there and do video. Now, some people, you know, they don't want to do video. They don't like this whole like face-to-face interaction that they, you know, they're camera shy. So One thing I would say to that is something you eventually have to overcome, because video is the most engaging form of content out there. And even if you don't publish videos initially that you do just to get more comfortable with looking at that camera, it is something you have to do eventually, because the moment you publish content, you become a media company. And look at how media companies become successful. A lot of them, they're doing video now. They're doing live segments on air. They're doing basically an engaging form of content where you see the person who is talking. There are blog posts, there are podcast episodes, but you gotta do video because it's so easy to repurpose. So what do you do when you have that video and you're trying to spread it? So one of the big things, I think this is a big mistake people make, is they only do YouTube for their video. There's Vimeo, and Vimeo's got a ton of people there. And there's less competition there also, because no one really thinks about Vimeo as much as they think about YouTube. YouTube is like the alpha, but Vimeo is also a really credible, really well-established platform for content creators looking to grow a brand. So if you put in all that work to, put up the YouTube video, it really doesn't take a lot of extra work to turn it into a Vimeo video. Then you take the video and you turn it into an MP3. So no additional work so far, and that MP3 goes into a podcast. You can use Libsyn or something else, but so far we took one video, we turned it into 3 pieces of content, no additional work. Next, you take that video, embed it in a blog post, and write that summary. And you could put the blog post on your blog. You can publish it on LinkedIn a week later, and you could publish it on Medium another week later. It's entirely up to you. So this is really starting to add up. And then when you say some really good things, put a mental note. Like I said, this really good insight at this particular part of the video. Go back, watch the video, write down that quote, and now you have an Instagram picture. And you can change the background, change the text, and have a completely different picture. So my classic Instagram picture, the one I use the most often, it is a black background with white and yellow text, because that is, I did research on my niche, and I saw that a lot of people had this similar format for the most engaging pictures. By the way, a white background with black text also works, but I saw what was working. I created a picture format similar, but then I thought, hey, I could share this same quote or this same content months and years out, provide my followers with more value. All I have to do is change the background and the text color, and then I have a completely different image. So that's pretty much how you make it really easy. Content repurposing, I think the complicated part is you think about how are you going to spread it? How are you going to get on all these different places? But in some cases, it's just as easy as uploading the MP4 one extra place. It's turning it into an MP3 and uploading it one extra place. And then on social media, you can write the same post and have it send on all of them. It's entirely up to you. I personally use Hootsuite. That is my go-to social media tool. Definitely the most affordable and gives you the most options that you need. Some people, they go to, I believe it's Agora Pulse. That's a pretty big one as well. Meet Edgar is another one that is doing pretty well. But Hootsuite for me, that's just been my jam for a while. So I just tend to stick with what's working for me. You may have a different opinion on that. Look at different tools. Hootsuite is what works for me. So the moment you realize, how easy this is, especially if you start out with video, it just becomes so much easier to repurpose your content. And if you are thinking about, how do I repurpose this content? How do I make money from this? Because, you want to make sure you make a profit from all this work you're putting in. I have an excellent resource for you guys, the Content Marketing Success Summit. It is a free virtual summit. So far, there are over 70 people speaking at that, although that number just seems to grow every single year. But we have 70 sessions in there. I want to say it's over 40 hours of content. I don't know for sure, but it's definitely up there in terms of length and overall value. So we hit on content creation, marketing, and monetization. If you guys are interested in that, just head over to contentmarketingsuccesssummit.com. That will be in the description. But I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget, if you want more videos like this one, feel free to subscribe if you aren't already. Also subscribe to Breakthrough Success on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. Will also be uploading a bunch of the episodes on YouTube as well. But anyway, what I want you guys to do is to dream big, achieve greatness, and unlock your potential. today.